Hey, what's up, Tara? Great video from last week. I loved how you threw the okapis into this. Maybe we'll see them one day. I don't know. So, where we left off last week, they were in this new world. There was a ruffling in the bushes. Out pops a man on what appeared to be a smartphone, who was racing off down the way, down the path of this in this land that we're in, and where we are now, our characters are following the man. So they walk down the path, and when they reach the top of the mountain, they look down at what appears to be a village, and in the village they see one large single-storied building, all beige, and the roofs are what appear to be hay and twigs. The walls look to be rock and mud and clay, and circling this main building there are smaller huts. It appears to be a small huts. Also, everything is beige, perhaps to blend in with the sand surroundings or something. Regardless, they walk down the mountain to the village, and when they approach the village, the people in front of their houses are farming and tending to plants, and just doing everyday chores. And they all kind of turn to look as they walk down towards the main building. The villagers' heads turn to these new mysterious people that have entered. When Charlie and Alice turn back, they notice Jen hasn't entered the village. She's still on the outskirts. And when they come back to get Jen, they ask Jen, "What's wrong? Come on, we have to go." Jen says, "I can't. I'm scared." And they ask, "Why are you scared? What are you scared of?" "There's nothing to be scared of here. It's just people." And she says, "I'm scared of monochrome outfits." And they look back and they notice that all of the villagers are all wearing exactly what that man that was wearing. Just a shirt and pants and some khakis, beige. I guess they're just trying to blend in with the town. But Jen is very scared of this. She has a phobia of monochrome outfits. And Alice just says, "You come with us and you get over it, or you can stay by yourself." And Jen, remembering that anything is less scary than being by yourself, especially in a mysterious new world, follows them. And as they walk farther down the village, they see the man that they saw before. And as Alice runs up to him, grabs his shoulder, spins him around, they see he has a gray beard, perhaps a few months grown in. Not a full out, but like a small little scrubble. Thin, short, gray hair. Balding. He's perhaps 65. Notices these small children and says, "Who are you?" Alice promptly says, "Well, we were about to ask you the same thing. Who are you?" The man says, "Well, there are some who call me Tim. Now you, Alice goes, "Well, I'm Alice. This is my best friend Charlie." And that girl over there she's our neighbor, Jen. And with that, Charlie says, what is this?" Well, and Tim says, "Well, this is the village of the Beige. We live in this area, and I was just in the forest collecting data." He says, come with me. You must be from Earth." So he motions them to follow, and as they enter the big main room, the center is placed a long table, perhaps a conference table or a dinner table, but a long table that spans the whole room. And at the back, at the end of the table, is a podium. And at that podium, there's an old woman, perhaps 50, with long brown hair, but you could see gray streaks. She's wearing a beige pantsuit, and is looking over papers at the podium. And Tim motions up to her and says, "My fair Sasha, I've come across these inhabitants of Earth. They must have came here through the Medallion of Power." And Sasha, with authority, almost as if she was an official of the town, steps off of a podium and says, "Yes, come." And they sit around the long table and says, "Fair children, there's no need to be scared. This world, we call it, I don't know what you call it or have learned of it, but we call it Lena. I'm sorry, Lania. I'll spell it in the title or the description. But we call this land Lania. This is our world, Lania. And you see how it is now is not how it's always been. Since the beginning of time, Lania and Earth have been in harmony. We would transfer between the worlds using the Medallion of Power, which I so trust you've stumbled upon. And Alice reaches in her pocket and holds the weird coin that they found and places it on the table. And Sasha says, "Yes, that is the portal between the worlds. You see one side." She flips it, and you see an image. This is the Earth side, and flips it over again, and you see a different image. This is the Lania side. In order to transfer between the worlds, you must put the coin on the side in which you want to travel and place it on the ground, and then you transfer there. You warp through the portal into the world you choose. And for years and centuries, this travel and partnership between Earth and Lania was in harmony. Until one day, the men who call themselves the Dark Kings rose to power, ruled by the Emperor Darkon. Darkon ruled Lania with an iron fist and cut them off from the Earth. And she says, as time passed, the resistance grew, and decided to fight the Dark Kings. But the war destroyed Lania. Those who were in Earth were stuck there, and those here were stuck in the destroyed ruins. But over time, we were able to rebuild ourselves into the community you see now. And the rest of Lania has begun to rebuild. Sadly, Darkon and his forces have also been rebuilding. And you have made it noticed what you call rain in your world. And Charlie goes, yes, there've been rain, but no flooding. It's almost as if... And he looks, and Sasha goes, yes, it wasn't rain. It was magic power that has been shown by our shaman to fall from Earth through the portal into this world where the Dark Master, where the Dark Kings have been gaining their magic powers back. So that's what you've been experiencing. It seems as though they're almost ready to come back and strike and fight. And that's why we have been gathering data on the magic that's been flowing through, because it's a new magic we don't understand yet. But the legends say chosen ones will come one day and fight against the Dark Kings and return Lania back to its balance. So I think that's where I'm going to leave off. So we have this new world, Lania. What's going on? This medallion was the portal between the two worlds. Everything's starting to make a little bit more sense, maybe not. But Tara, I'm going to give it off to you now. What's going on? Let's see what happens next. I'm really excited to see it. Your challenge. I'm going to say, I challenge you to somehow tie in the origin of the dill pickle into the story somehow. That is my challenge for you. And I look forward to seeing what you have to do next week. If you liked the story so far, if you want to see what happens next, if you want to suggest what you think will happen next, why don't you subscribe? Why don't you thumbs up and like us? Why don't you post down in the gizmo down there what you think is going to happen? What do you think should happen? Let us know. Maybe some of it will work out. But until then, I will see you next week with your rendition of the story. So long.